what soulmates they really were. So why don't you continue where you left off? You were just starting to say that it was about 6 weeks before 7/7, and you were realizing that her wedding was approaching and that you had made a terrible mistake.
Yeah, I was realizing that. I was still 2 minds. Should I tell her? Should I not? Am I prepared for the commitment? But that came about from this last meeting we had, which was on her lunch break. I went up to see her, and we had something to eat. It was the atmosphere had changed though. This very last time, it was strange because like for the last 3 years, it had been a bit of coldness there. Obviously, the protection for her. And this time her guard was completely down. I don't know why. It was just like it was meant to be our last time together. And we were just laughing and joking like in the beginning. We're going back now 8 years, like how we were then. We finished our lunch and I think it was an hour and a half she had that day. So we went to a park which was just behind her work, and sat down in the grass, and it's so silly, but we were wrestling, we were rubbing grass in each other's face and sort of like rolling around. It was a lovely sunny day, and we were just laughing and joking so much that day. It just felt again like the beginning.
Yes.
Total difference, and it was just an amazing, amazing day. Even though it sounds probably like a normal day to people listening.
No, not at all.
So after all that laughing and joking, I walked over with her to her work, and she was standing down the corridor, and we were both looking at each other, and she had just like the biggest smile on her face, big grin. She had a unique grin. Waved at me, I waved at her, and she just walked into her workplace, and little did I know that was the very last time I was ever going to see her again.
Wow, and this was how long before 7/7?
Probably about 6 weeks or so.
I see, that was okay, yes.
Yeah, so, yeah.
And so in between that time and 7/7, did you were still chatting with her on the phone and so on?
Yeah, MSN on the phone. We were chatting regularly. It was like the first thing that would happen every day. I would normally go straight onto my computer, just check my emails, and I would go straight onto MSN as well. And she would always be at work by now because she should start earlier than my shift. And the first thing I'd always do is talk with her. It was like the daily kind of thing, or if not, then a telephone call would come in, and we'd just have a quick chat or a long chat or whatever she could spare that day.
And so after that lovely last time, it seems like you were on the verge of telling her, don't do this. I really do love you. Let's just continue where we left off.
Yes, it was building up towards that. I was getting closer and closer. It was becoming late June now, and it was really playing on my mind. And then it became into the first week of July. And I remember I was going out on July the 3rd. I was just parking my car up, before I was parking my car, I was driving along and talking with Benedetta. And the conversation was just it was again just so carefree again. It was just laughing and joking and just amazingly close friends, and just I don't know, I can't put it into words how the conversations were. They were just sort of like just so no guard there. There was nothing there. There was no falseness. I guess that's it. There's nothing to hide from each other. And we were just joking about. I parked my car, and I had to get somewhere. So I said to her, look, I've got to go. And said bye. And little did I know that was our last conversation. And I just really sometimes wish I'd talked to her for longer. But I got that. When I say conversation, I mean phone conversation.
Right.
So I went out, and now it was next day, July the 4th, went along normal chat on MSN, and it was on July the 6th. I was really thinking about where we were going with all this and what was happening in my head, and I was thinking I should really tell her how I'm feeling, and I was supposed to have met her that week. We were supposed to have gone out, but she had a backache that week, the first week of July, and she didn't go to work. So on the Wednesday, July the 6th, we decided to meet up on the following Tuesday. But we made an appointment for about, I think it was afternoon, just to meet her at work. And I had now, between that time and our meeting, to really sort my head out. What should I do?
Mm-hmm.
That was what I gave myself. On following day, July the 7th, the bombs went off. I wasn't aware about the bombs because at the time I was in bed. But my mum rang me up and she says, "Don't go into central London, there's been some explosions." I got up out of bed, and this sounds a bit weird, but I went to the bathroom and I looked in the mirror, and I just saw something on my face which I've never had before, which was kind of like a sty in the corner of my eye.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking, I've never had that before. That's something Benedetta gets on her face sometimes.
Oh, wow.
And I knew nothing about what happened. And within a couple of hours, it had disappeared. So it didn't really make me think anything's happened to her. As far as I didn't really understand the scale of this terrorist blast or anything, because everything, the news was just coming out. And I was very busy at work during that period. So I spent Thursday and Friday working extremely long hours. And by the weekend, I'd started getting a little bit concerned. On the Saturday, I was thinking, why haven't I heard from Benny? Benny's what I called her. And I didn't have a new mobile number because she's changed it just recently, and I didn't have a new one. And the only way I could contact her now was if I called her work. However, she doesn't work on the weekends. So I was thinking, oh my God, I have to wait till Monday to call her now, just to make sure.
But what about the emails or MSN?
That was only at work. She didn't have it at home.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, and also, I didn't want to, obviously, like, if I did have a number, I wouldn't want to call her because I don't know how her boyfriend would take it if I called her up. So, I waited over the weekend, and it was on the Sunday. I was really actually worrying a lot by now, and I remember I was sitting next to a newspaper, and I was looking at the paper. I was just on a break at work, and I was thinking about reading it, but just as I was going to like reach over and take it, we had to go back to work, so I left it, and I went off to work. The shift was going along, and towards the end of it, I got a phone call right at the very end from Donna, who was the lady she used to work for at the hair, and she sounded in the right state. I was thinking, what's wrong? But then I was thinking, oh, she's just probably panicking over some IT question she's got on her computer. So she just said my name very sort of like loud. She just said Raj, and I was thinking, hold on, wait, I don't know, something's not right here. Yeah. And she goes, it's Bernie. That's what she called her, Bernie. I said, what's wrong? And she said, she's dead. And that moment just was like, no, she's wrong. What do you mean? And it was, what do you mean? She goes, I just got an email from one of her colleagues saying she's dead. She's died in the bombing, and she read out the email to me. And I just couldn't take it in. And I was thinking, I've got to ring Benny and ask her, are you dead or are you alive? And I was really, at this moment, I was already thinking she's dead. And I'm thinking, I've got to ring her and ask her, are you dead? Yeah, which is a very weird thing to be thinking. So